Hi, my name is David. Today I'm going to present to you a research article titled How to Prevent the Next Generation of Nurses from Eating Their Young. This is a term that I've heard as a healthcare worker for a very long time. Um, I feel like it's treated as if it's some kind of rite of passage, um, some like initiation phase or something that's how it is almost. And in reality, it's a form of bullying. And so when I came across this research article, I thought that it was very interesting since that is the field that we're going into. You know, um, people talk about wanting to be the change, and so as someone who is fixing to step into this career, I wanted to see what kind of research was done so that we could potentially change this and be better for the next generation. So with this table of contents, this is more of a guide for you to know what I'm going to cover in this presentation. So I'm going to go through the goals and purposes of this research study. Um, there's a summary of major themes, um, the why of the research, um, followed by the methods used, um, research findings, and then I'll have a conclusion, and then I look forward to hearing from each of you. Maybe we can discuss further things that we can do to impact change in this area. So the purpose of this research study was aimed at evaluating the current level of awareness regarding bullying in practice among students and new nurses, um, highlighting the signs and implications in the clinical setting. Um, with this, knowledge about it increases. I know we all know someone out there who um, isn't quite as aware of their surroundings or things going on around them. And so, with this research, it helped to bring more of that to light. And um, with this, they also got to work on strategies to address the bullying, um, so that they know how to handle themselves uh, if they come across that, and things to combat the bullying, and just to promote a culture of respect and support among each other. So as I was looking through this research, something that really stuck out to me was this statistic: about 39% of new nurses report experiencing bullying. And that is a staggering number when you think about it. It's almost 40%. I had seen another statistic that says approximately 170,000 um, new nurses are in the United States each year, like just getting their license as new nurses. And so if you do the math on that, 40% of 170,000 is 68,000, and that is a huge number, and one that shouldn't even be there. We should all be working together instead of against each other. So some major themes that I noticed when going through this research article was the fact that they used role play and simulations um, in order to bring more awareness to the nursing students, so that if they encounter this um, in the real world, they already have some coping strategies and just feel better prepared if they do come across bullying and what to do in those situations. Um, the research showed that bullying is widespread in the healthcare setting, um, and I didn't realize that. Um, I mean, I've been a tech for a long time, and so I know that sometimes techs get treated differently by nurses. Not all, but there are some that treat you like you're beneath them, or they may speak to you in a certain tone, and it just it doesn't make you feel good. But I didn't realize that new nurses also experience this. Um, I had heard the term "nurses eat their young," but I just thought that referred to like nurses um, kind of just being harder on the new nurse in order to teach them in the same fashion that the military does. You know, they're hard on them to teach them, um, and so I viewed it as that. And so um, I know that when you feel like that, it can affect your job performance, your mental health, your self esteem, and it just doesn't create a learning environment. And I've heard several times that the real learning starts once we graduate, and I am appreciative of that. Um, but I can see that if I was in an environment where I was being bullied and I didn't look forward to going um, to work or being in that setting, you're not going to learn from individuals that you aren't clicking with. And ultimately, it's a big waste of time. Um, Another thing that this research showed was um, the big disparity in experiences between novice and seasoned nurses, showing that the new nurses faced steeper learning curves and were more vulnerable to being bullied. And ultimately, that just creates a bad environment because we're a team working together. And if you're being bullied or being talked about, sorry, behind your back, um, you're not going to feel welcome, and ultimately the morale is going to be low, and you're not going to feel like a team. And the ones who suffer from that are the patients. So the importance of this research was to address the bullying. Um, it helps that they uncover the prevalence of the bullying, and it facilitates discussions about necessary change, not only in the education but also in workplace policies. Um, the findings from this will help to create different education strategies um, to mitigate bullying and utilizing the insights gained from simulations um, to help teach students appropriate responses to bullying situations and promoting resilience. The research methods used in this article, the type of study was exploratory qualitative investigation. Um, it employs focusing on the understanding of experiences and perceptions of nursing students regarding bullying. The subjects were senior BSN students. Um, they provided insights from those nearing the end of their academic training. It was a sample size of 169 students, allowing for a comprehensive understanding about their insights into bullying. So the procedures used to obtain this research information um, were gained through reflection surveys. The participants engaged in surveys that prompted them to contemplate their experiences and observations in their clinical settings. Um, and then they went through um, rigorous analysis. Um, they were identifying recurring themes regarding bullying experiences in nursing education, followed by role playing scenarios. And this was used as a data collection mechanism, facilitating discussions around the students' reactions and coping strategies to bullying situations. So, findings from the research, many students reported feeling that chaotic and stressful environments contributed to a higher incidence of bullying behaviors within the clinical setting. Um, they described their experiences with bullying as crucial learning moments, um, helping their understanding of professionalism and resilience. Um, they found that they expressed a range of emotions from frustration and fear to a desire for a change in their environment. Um, there were some barriers to learning, um, bullying being the biggest one, um, as a significant barrier to effective learning, which hindered the student engagement and undermined the educational experience. And from this, the students analyzed that um, the behavior and the environment played a large part on the impact um, that may potentially last past their nursing career. So, this is just a quote that I found in the research article that shows that students reported significant emotional and educational impact from the simulation, especially those that weren't aware of the prevalence of bullying beforehand. So, researchers' conclusion um, showed the awareness of bullying is a core conclusion about the necessity for heightened awareness of bullying within nursing education. Some strategies for future practice um, found throughout this study was the emphasis of the importance of developing educational strategies that can effectively address bullying and foster a safer learning environment, and the need for simulations. Um, there's a critical need for incorporating simulations in nursing curriculum to enable students to practice how to respond to bullying situations confidently, and just simulations in general. I know that we've used them in nursing school, and it's helped to expose us to different scenarios and situations so that if we encounter them, we feel better prepared. So, the importance for nursing practice, this study emphasized the need for simulations in nursing education to help better prepare students for real world challenges and improve workplace dynamics. Um, by fostering a supportive learning environment, um, we can help cultivate a more respectful and collaborative culture. Um, some potential weaknesses or biases was the small sample size, which may not be generalizable across all nursing programs. Um, I think you could also utilize different healthcare settings because there's so many. Um, and additionally, the self-reported data could introduce bias as some of the participants may feel pressure to provide socially desirable responses. And in conclusion, I would say um, The nursing profession is inherently challenging, both physically and emotionally and mentally. In addition to the stresses of patient care, um, nurses continue to face verbal and physical assaults from patients, a troubling trend that has been increasing, especially here recently. However, it is equally concerning that nurses must also contend with bullying from their peers. It adds unnecessary strain to an already demanding career. At the end of the day, we are all a part of a team working together to enhance patient care and improve their quality of life to those that we serve. So it's imperative that we strive to do better and be better, creating a supportive environment where all nurses can thrive without fear of bullying or instability. Together, we can foster that culture of respect and collaboration that ultimately benefits everyone in the healthcare setting. Thank you for your time.